All right, so in this lesson, we are going to explain and create factor pairs of simple expressions. Okay, so before we do that, let's explain factor pairs. So example 1 reads 2 times negative 3. So 2 and negative 3 form a factor pair of negative 6. Because 2 times negative 3 equals negative 6. Not too bad, right? So 3x times 2x plus 5. So 3x and 2x plus 5, that's all together. We group it together with this parentheses. Form a factor pair of 3x times 2x is 6x to the second power. And positive times a positive is a positive, and 3x times 5 is 15x. So 3x and 2x plus 5 form a factor pair of 6x squared plus 15x because 3x times 2x plus 5 equals, well, let me move that a little bit, times 2x plus 5 equals 6x squared plus 15x. So not too bad, right? Switch colors. All right, so let's create some factor pairs. So we have 8. So like an example of a factor pair of 8 would be like 2 times 4, so 2 and 4. Another factor pair of 8 would be, let's do the negative versions. Like in your work, you're going to have to do some negatives. So like negative 2, so a negative times a negative is a positive, so negative 4. We can also do like 1 and 8 if you want. 1 and 8, or negative 1 and negative 8. And if you feel like so inclined, you could also do something like 16 times 0.5 times half. So for each of these, I think you'll create 4 or 5. It'll tell you on there. So negative 10. So we can't just put 2 and 5 because a positive and a positive is a positive. And we need this negative. So 2 times negative 5. Or you could do negative 2 and positive 5. You could also do, I guess we're stuck with 1 and 10 again. So 1 and negative 10. And negative 1 and 10. If you prefer, you can put negative 5 and then 2, 5 and then negative 2. Like, it doesn't matter. As long as these two numbers go together, as long as these ones go together, as long as these ones, and so forth. So let's do like, I don't know, 40 and negative 1/4. 1/4 of 40, or 0.25. Now, right here, it seems to be getting a little more difficult, right? So 2 and 4 will give you 8. 2x and 4x will give you 8x squared. But that also means we could do like negative 2x and negative 4x, because a negative 2 and a negative 4 give you positive 8. We could also do, let's see, just so you can see, we could also just do 2 times 4x to the second power. We could also do 2x to the second power and 4. We could also make both of these negative. Negative times negative is positive, right? So let's see if we can continue this a little lower. Okay. So right here, okay, so negative 12 times y to the 5th, or negative 12y to the 5th. So I'm going to make that smaller so I have more room. And I end up with, let's do like 3 times negative 4. Well, we need to somehow get to this y to the 5th. Well, if you want, we just put y to the 5th there, right? But I want to show you how to like break this down a little bit, because that's what you'll have to do in the work. I don't want you to just put like this. I want you to like break it down some. So you could do like 3y times, well, we'll keep negative 4. So y times, this is 1y. We need 4 more because that's y times y times y times y. Wait, y times y times y times y. Yeah. So this is 1. We need to get to 5. So y to the 4th power. Because this is y times y times y times y times y. There you go. We could also do like -6 and 2. But then we could do y to the 2nd, y times y times y to the 3rd. We could also do -2 and 6. And we could do, let's do y to the 3rd on this one. And y to the 2nd on this one. Not too bad, right? Always do 4. And make sure there are some negatives in there. So -24 times y to the 7th. So let's do -24. We can do 6 and -4. We have y times y to the 6th. To the power of 6. Or to the 6th power. Let's see. We can do -8 and 3. And we could do like y to the 4th times y to the 3rd. Because this will be y times y times y. Wait, y times y times y times y. There it is. Times y times y times y, which is y to the 7th. Let's do negative. No, let's just do, yeah, let's do 12 and -2. And we can make this y to the 5th. Oops. Times -2 times y to the 2nd. Oh, that's handy, right? That 12 looks a little strange, so I'm going to change that for a second. And then we had -2 y to the 2nd. And we can do like -12. Oh, I didn't use 3. Well, I used 8 and 3, 12 and 2, 6 and 4. I'll just use this. -12 and +2. We'll do y to the 6th. And then we'll do y to the, well, just y, because y to the power of 1 is just y. All right, example 11. And this time we have 2 terms. We have 2 terms. So it's going to be easier if we show it a little differently. So I'm going to look at this 4 and this 8. Like, I could pull out a 2. I could, like, factor out a 2. That's how you would say it. Like, I can take out a 2 goes into 4, 2 goes into 8, right? There's 2 x's here. And there's an x here. So I can take out an x from, like, both of these. So I'm going to do 2x. And then it'll be 2x times, well, 2 times what is 4? 2 times 2 is 4. X times what is x to the 2nd power? X times x. 2 times what is +8? +4. We have a 2x times 4 is 8x. We don't need any more x's. We have an x. So we have an x. We need an x. We don't need any more. But we can also do these things slightly, like, different. Like, I could have taken out a 4x. And then that would be 4 times what is 4, so that's a 1, so I don't have to write that. X times what is x squared? X times x is x squared. And then I got to try this one. So positive times a positive is a positive, so that needs to say plus. 4 times what is 8? 4 times 2 is 8. X times what gives you x? Well, we don't need any more x's. If you don't like the, remember you can always do some negative versions too. So I'm going to put, well, actually I'm going to show you x real quick. If I just use x times what is 4x to the 2nd power? X times 4x. So that's 1 times 4 is 4. X times x is x to the 2nd power. Positive times what is a positive? Positive. And then we have x times what is 8x? That would be 8. Let's just check. 8x times 8 is 8x. Okay, cool. We can even do this with some negatives. So we'll put -2x. Just be careful because you got to really keep track of this. So a negative times a negative. So it needs to be -2. X times x is x squared. A negative times a what is a positive? Negative times a negative. So 2x times what is 8x? 4. Let me check that. Negative times a negative is a positive. 2x times 2x is 4x at the second power. A negative times a negative is a positive. 2x times 4 is 8x. Okay, cool.